on ADL Chargers. It's time for the Fantasy Football Show. We've done a ton of these, me and my friends, Barber, but none of them has been able to get up to this point. Before you think, what do I know? I am in second place in my league. I'm 2 years in a row. I've been in the finals, and I won it 1 year against grown men, so deal with that. So we got first player, Joe Mixon. This guy is definitely worth starting. I know there's some questions. He's going to have, I said in another segment, over 1,000 total yards of offense, maybe even rushing yards if he can really step it up. This guy is definitely worth starting if you have decent running backs. Definitely a flex play. Definitely put him in your flex if you already are a good running back. Jimmy Graham. See, even people that do this make mistakes. Jimmy Graham, the broken thumb, which is concerning. Very reliant on touchdowns. I'd say he's a boomer bust. High upside, low ceiling player. Calvin Ridley. I think he's definitely worth a flex play. I'm actually starting him at wide receiver 2. I also have Julio Jones. He's awesome. He's a beast. Don't care what Johnny says. He's sick, by the way. That's why he's not here. Really definitely worth shaky wide receiver 2. Good flex play. Again, high ceiling, low floor player. Capri Barber. I don't think you were expecting that name. You're probably thinking, who's Capri Barber? I'm telling you, roster him now. This is not a decision. You're doing it now. Capri Barber is the guy, the backup to Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson just admitted that he still beats his child, which is rough. I don't think the league is going to do nothing. I think that Capri Barber is going to get some touches when Adrian Peterson has to deal with whatever punishment they give him. He had a touchdown in the Thanksgiving Day game. I have already rostered him. I'm getting ahead of the crowd if you're weak at running back. I know this year a lot of people are thinner running back. Definitely think about picking him up if you have an empty slot in your roster. Emmanuel Sanders. I see him as a wide receiver 2. This guy's making a resurgence. Like that's all I can say. He's one of the only weapons in the Broncos. Case Keenum's not that good, but Sanders is making a comeback. I'd say he's wide receiver 2. We're starting. Golden Tate. I'm going to say bench him right now. Before all of you go crazy and say this is Golden Tate. Alshon Jeffrey's the clear number 1. Wentz has been okay. The Eagles' offensive line's been okay, and the Eagles have just been average this year. Golden Tate's not done much to impress me with the Eagles or even with the Lions for that matter. I'd say for now, keep him on your bench. Don't drop him, but put him on your bench. Or if you're very thin at flex, you have a shaky team, add him into your lineup. There. Tyrell Williams. He's hurt right now. Again, high ceiling, low floor player. You want to take a risk. I'd say that he's your guy. If you have better, more reliable options, don't play him. That's your decision. Mike Williams. He's a red zone target. I know he broke his neck at Clemson a couple years back. That was bad. But anyway, he's a red zone target. He's red zone dependent. I can't even say he's a very high ceiling. For now, I would keep an eye on him, but he can be, if you already have him, then keep him on your bench. Jalen Richard, he's done nothing for receiving. He's good in PPR leagues. I even say that I can't start him. If I was in a PPR league, I'd say I can't start him. That's just my opinion there. Ty Montgomery, he had one resurgence of a game. I definitely say it's not really expected. Gus Edwards did a lot. And Montgomery, that change of pace back. Definitely not a fantasy option here. Cole Beasley. I was not going to add him on the list. I didn't think I had to. Until I realized that in Yahoo, 27% of fantasy owners have him. Amari Cooper is the guy. And Beasley doesn't even have 400 receivers. He doesn't even have 300 receiving yards. I don't think so. If I'm wrong, someone tell me. I don't think he has 300 receiving yards. 27% of owners still own him. Drop him now and don't think about picking him up until he does something to change my mind. Through at least the time. Sorry. Nick Mullins. proved to be a one-hit wonder playing the Raiders, but wasn't impressive. He hasn't been doing much. Even Buccaneers' flimsy defense, he couldn't get anything to move. I'd say he's not worth starting as of now. We'd definitely keep on to him in deeper leagues. 12-team leagues or more teams. Randall Cobb, he's hurt. He's been hurt all season. He had one good game. Other than that, he has not cracked 60 yards. I would even say drop him. Tom Brady, I'm going to get a ton of flack from Patriots fans. I'm going to have to call him a low-end QB1. That's not me saying Tom Brady's bad. What I'm saying is that he's not really the greatest for fantasy. They're running the ball more. They run more in the end zone. When they go to the end zone, it's always usually from Sony Michel or James White. I can't trust him. He's not throwing as many yards. He's throwing a lot less touchdowns, low and red ball. But definitely start him. Because I know that if you picked him, then you probably didn't pick another great quarterback. So he's definitely start worthy. I still am a big fan of Tom Brady. Charles Godwin. He's just he's so consistently inconsistent. That's all I can say. I dropped him in the beginning of the year. He had a resurgence. I picked him back up. He did nothing. Had a big game. I started him. He did nothing, and then I dropped him, and then he had a big game and was on another team in my fantasy league. So I can't trust him. I can't even trust him to start. That's why I would say don't start him, especially with Humphreys and Jackson there. He's splitting time. T.J. Yeldon. No. Jaguars are bad. He only gets room during catch-up time, which the Jaguars have a lot of. But with Fournette coming back on Hyde there, I just can't trust him. Even when Hyde's not good, he still touches as the backup. Kevin Kuti, pick this guy up. Second guy, the wide receiver depth chart for the Texans. He's speedy but decently tall. Someone that's gone under the radar. So 66% owned in fantasy leagues, 33% picked up in the last week or so. I definitely give him a look, especially if you're weak at wide receiver. And even if you're not, I definitely pick this guy up because he has definitely potential. He showed that in Pittsburgh as a backup there. One more player, Peyton Barber. I always have to add him. He's just the worst. He can barely hit 3 yards a game, touchdown dependent. Don't start him. I would even drop him unless you're so thin at running back. But anyway, that's going to do it for the fantasy football, my show. In a way, I don't know what to call it yet. I hope you guys did have good holidays. You'll enjoy the show, and I will see you next time.